Yo, what's up, dudes? Es un gusto para mí saludarlos esta tarde porque estoy muy bien acompañada. Bendita entre los hombres, ¿eso se puede decir? La verdad es que estoy muy contenta porque estoy con estos chicos de The Neighborhood que están aquí en Monterrey. ¿Cómo están? How are you guys?
Good, doing great. How about you?
I'm great. What are you eating?
The freshest blueberries from the Montecito Mountains, actually.
Okay.
Or the Monterey Mountains, excuse me.
Did you guys like
Montecito at this point.
Montecito? Okay. I was like, what's that? I couldn't understand.
Particular place. Yeah. We get them imported here, so. Yeah.
So guys, you already have a line waiting for you outside. So welcome to Monterrey. This is your first time. Yesterday was your first time in Mexico. So how are you feeling right now?
Feeling good. If tonight's anything like last night, then we're in for a really good time.
It was a good show.
It was great.
You had to add another date, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think we had one, and then we scheduled another one that they both sold out really quick. So it was super tight.
Well, your fans are crazy right now. I just went outside and they were like, they're really excited about you guys knowing Monterrey, like knowing some places. That's why I was asking you before. But would you have time before the show? Would you have other things to do?
We had to wake up at 7 a.m. today, and then we leave tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. So, no. Unfortunately, there's like zero time. Hopefully we get a yummy meal somewhere in between that time. Yeah.
Nice. So no food, no anything, like tequila.
No, I mean, we'll get food, but I'm just saying, like, it's not much time. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah.
I'm done.
That's really nice. So, guys, it's been an interesting journey. Like, from my perspective, or as an audience of the neighborhood. But how would you describe this evolution of the band?
I guess we just, I think we were boys to men.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like we were just, I don't know, yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah, it's just like actually what happens to everybody, I guess. But yeah, we just are a bit, I think we're more in tune with who we are now, I guess. And just, I don't know, I feel lucky that we're still here together and still close and yeah, like being around each other and making
Okay. I've read some comments on Facebook about your fans, like your fans saying something like they miss the old neighborhood.
Really?
What's your opinion on that? Like I read on social media.
Well, I don't miss the young them, so they should get used to the new us.
Anyone else have another opinion? Like,
Fans always are like, you're gonna have fans that like are always particular, like they like certain things and don't like first record's the best. Like yeah, there's always like critics like that, but as long as we don't miss the old neighborhood and we like what we're doing now, I think that's the most important, you know? And I'm sure everyone will catch on, you know, just people, you're always gonna have people that like certain things, you know?
yeah, you have to change, you have to evolve, of course. And even though they feel like there's they missing the old neighborhood, they're still here supporting some of them. They want to see you, and you have like sold out shows everywhere. So have you even like ever thought about doing bigger places, like, bigger venues, or do you gonna like keep it like, you know, intimate, something like that?
I hope so. I hope next time we come here, we play a bigger place.
Yeah, well, I think your fans hope so that, you know, it will be really amazing. So now let's talk about Scary Love, because this is a really great song. I just have to say that it's this perfect lyrics, dude. So what about that? I mean, tell me about it so the people that is watching this can understand.
Like what's it about? I mean, I feel it's pretty self-explanatory, but just kind of like when you're in a relationship with someone and it's like you just can't picture not being in the relationship with them, so it's kind of like almost a scary spot, you know, as like an individual, just being like, shit, like I'm so attached to this situation that it would be really weird to not be in it. Kind of a thing. I guess that's what it's about as far as the theme of love being scary. You know what I mean? It's just kind of fuck, the same word I'm trying to look for on the last interview, but I can't.
Oh, you're
not claustrophobic, but it makes you feel very like, you know, overwhelmed. Yeah, I guess just overwhelmed. Yeah.
But it's like you wrote the lyrics, right? You wrote them. Yeah. So do you guys feel like identified with the lyrics too? Like, do you feel them?
Yeah, I think a lot of us have been in relationships too, and like have all like felt that same feeling that Jess was talking about, 100%.
That does happen with the other lyrics from other songs. It's hard to like feel what he's writing.
I mean, there's certain songs that are more you know, like
Personal.
to him. But definitely, I think this song is something that anyone can relate to.
Well, that's I have to say I really love this. So this is going to be on your next EP, which is To Imagine. What about this concept and how is it? I mean, you just released an EP in September, so now it's gonna be in January. What can you tell me about this new material?
It's gonna be another batch of 5 songs. I'd say sonically it sounds different from the first thing.
Sounds more like Scary Love, like that vibe, like more like synths and like programmed drums compared to like the first EP. It's a little more of like just a different sound, like an evolved like sound instead of like, I think the first EP was more like old Neighborhood, I guess, you know, like the fans would say. And this is kind of like a new like direction that we're kind of been really like creating and stuff. Yeah, so
Kind of like Hard was like, like the most back to basics as possible, and then this one is like even the more future than we've ever done before, and then so I guess that's kind of the balance.
Have you think about like a full album, like
Of course,
any project?
Yeah. I mean, we have. I mean, next year there's music and shows in store, so there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah, everything.
Okay, so speaking about the beginning, not of the band, but of you guys. Tell me about, did you actually think about, I want to be a rock star, I want to be an artist, or you had another plan, like maybe being a lawyer or something like typical? What were like your plans for the future if it wasn't this?
I don't know.
I never had a future planned. Like, it was either music or nothing. Like, all I did was play guitar, sucked at school, didn't care about anything else. But, so.
Anyone else?
I think I had a plan to be a rock star until I was like 18 or 19. And I was like, all right, this isn't happening. And then like I actually like not abandoned it, but just like actually like started growing up and going to school. But then I had the opportunity to like do it, and I was like, all right, for sure. And like now I'm doing it, and that's the perfect thing I've always wanted to do.
Really amazing. Anyone else wants to share their story?
This is definitely the plan for me. I just still trying to hit a couple goals, but plan's going well. Plan's going good so far. Everything's going good.
That's great. So you have like really dedicated fans, of course. They're outside waiting for you, and the show is at 9, something like that. So that's really amazing. But do you also have like crazy fans? Have you passed through weird things, maybe?
Stalkers? No, not really. I don't know if you guys have any weird. I can't think of like one particular like.
Yeah, there's been some. There's some things that it's comparatively to maybe what other celebrities might feel, maybe not as extreme, but I mean, we talk about it with each other all the time. Like, I can't a lot of time I'm just not the type of like the type of person that a lot of these fans seem to be. Like, as far as how like obsessed they are with what the music and everything. But it's like, from being on my end of it, on our end of it, it's incredible. It's crazy. It's like we actually get to go to these different places, and all of these fucking people are gonna show up, and then like be at the hotel and be out there after the airport. Like, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe someone just really like pass these thoughts or these things, like, no?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, no one tried to kill us yet.
I hope never, no one. Yeah. Well, that's really amazing. So, I always ask this to the people because I want to know the idea of like they have on their minds, their personalities. So, everyone has a guilty pleasure in music, and I want to know your guilty pleasure in music. And if you don't feel guilty about it, but maybe it's something that people wouldn't think that you will listen to.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Who has one?
Well, Aerosmith too. Except I'm not embarrassed about any of them though. But people probably think it's like butt rock, but I think it's tight.
Anyone wants to?
I don't know if this is a guilty pleasure, but ABBA, because just the. No, but just because it's like so pop, dude. Dancing Queen, like.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dancing Queen, but he.
That's like one of the best bands of all time.
But there was a point in time. There was a point in time where ABBA was like cool.
Yeah.
If a jock hears you listening to them, are you lame?
You'll get.
You're definitely lame. The jocks are lame.
Okay. You have a guilty. I know it's not guilty, but people wouldn't think that you listening. Do you listen to it?
I think it's stuff that more so that I make sometimes rather than things that I listen to. I like making songs so much, so I'll make songs that I think are just fun and stupid just because it feels really good to do it. So, and then sometimes I just have to get it out of me, and it's like when I'm doing it, but I just can't help it just because
That's how you explain things.
I can't help it. You know what I mean? I'm just like I'm my own guilty pleasure. Like I fucking can't stand myself sometimes. But yeah, I guess
That's the best answer I've ever received. I'm a guilty pleasure, dude. So now, like, to the other part, any music recommendation can be old, can be new. Anything you have listened to?
recommendations.
Yeah, like you want your fans or your followers or people that is watching this that they should listen to something.
Recently, a friend showed all of us this band called Rexy. They're really sick. There's only one album, but yeah, it's really sick. I like that a lot.
Look for that. Anyone else?
What was that?
Can be old, can be new. Like I'm listening to the Neighborhood right now.
Yeah, listen to the song Scary Love. It's so sick. It's amazing. I love it. It's on repeat all day.
It's a good song.
So we keep it like that. Listen to Neighborhood. Scary Love.
That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, so dude, it's been a pleasure to be with you in this interview and a pleasure to have you in Monterey. I hope you can come back to a bigger show, of course, and I know that your fans are waiting for that. And I know that you're gonna be really busy, but if you have time and coming back to know something, because those girls like outside were really excited about you having, thank you, about like knowing places. And if you need a tourist, like a guide, I can be that one, okay? So yeah, I mostly party a lot, but I can take you to other places, yeah. So whatever, anything else you want to say to your fans? To your fans in Monterey, any message?
Yeah. Seriously. Muchas gracias.
Is that the only thing you know how to say?
I know a few, but that's the only thing I'm going to say right now. No, I'm not.
Really, dude? Why?
Well, I don't know. I took Spanish like in high school and college and like worked in a couple restaurants and stuff, so yeah.
Anyone else?
I know how to say botella de agua.
That's right.
That's
Muchas gracias para las botellas de agua.
Muchas gracias por las botellas de agua. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Ahí lo tienen, The Neighborhood. Estuvimos platicando con ellos y pues los van a ver más adelante aquí y en la ciudad de Monterrey, solo a través de D99, generando tus sentidos.